Hi, and welcome to Gate Crash, the podcast dedicated to kicking open the door to your next favorite thing. You want to talk too? Welcome to Gate Crash, the podcast dedicated to kicking open the door to your next favorite thing. Our mission, our creed, and our code is this: to make all things more approachable, accessible. Sorry, my cat. Yeah. Okay. Are you good? Can I start?
This one as is. This is
I'm good. Yeah, it's good.
This
She's involved too. We want you to find a universe that you'll fall in love with. This is the perfect one. Sorry, Kori is involved in this episode as well. Today, I am joined by Sina Grace, who has a Kickstarter running right now for his comic called Life on Paws. Sina has been on the show before for his recent book on oh my god, I just read that.
I'll say it. You got pets wanting attention.
Yeah.
West Hollywood Monster Squad, which I think since we last talked, made me and Bradley Clayton, the artist, we're now USA Today bestsellers. That book is a USA Today bestselling book. So
yes,
and it's due to you and all of your help, because you really came through.
I love that book.
Thank you, because that was definitely like, we needed kind of like all the mojo we could get, because that was it's been some scary months in 2025, but
yeah.
But thank you for being the light that we needed, and yeah. Anyway, that's the last time I was on the podcast. That's sort of the last interaction we had, which was only months ago.
Yeah, I think it was very. This interview was actually very quick. I saw this and I texted you. For the listeners, my cat is now on top of me. She actually never does this. Like during interviews, she does not jump up on the desk. So,
my god, it's really cute. But this is it's very in theme, because the Kickstarter is about pet grief. Life on Paws is like, if you can see the word, it's PAWS. And it's all about my dog Henry that I had to put down in 2023. We're nearing 2 years, which is insane. And just the grieving process was like nothing I've ever been through. And moving on from him is like an ongoing process. And I think in that process, I learned I wasn't alone. And what I also learned was there isn't really a lot of pop culture around this. Especially for grown-ups, and I wanted to make my own piece of pop culture, and it was also a bit of healing to do that too. So anyway, sorry, I just I wanted to let you.
Thank you.
I just spoke for you.
You beat me to it. I really like that you touched on. There's not a lot for adults. It's kind of like we're supposed to just move past it, and it's not just something you can easily get past.
It's wild because, I've been dealt some crazy deaths. Like, I've lost people I've dated already. I did this separate thing. I went up and did stand up since we last talked. And I just read from a list of people I've hooked up with whose names I either couldn't remember or came up with like I never got. But then I also read through, some people who like the joke was like, so-and-so RIP, so-and-so RIP. And I have 5 deaths in my Rolodex already. So anyway, but like my grandma, she helped raise me. She died. That was awful. I had a cat. The cat died. The cat was different. It was a family cat. But all this is to say is, aside from having not had children, kids go to school, kids go to sleepovers, kids want to get the fuck away from you. Kids move. That animal, if you give them the shot, they will sleep in your bed and they will sit next to you and be next to you every minute of every day. Even a cat, if it doesn't want to be near you, it'll still be on the cat tower, looking at you. And
yeah,
it's just it's this presence that when gone, it's so tangible and it's so real. And so, it was just, it's just so, I don't know, it's just a different kind of profound loss that I had to kind of really sit with and process for a super long time. And also sort of talk about the things that were so peculiar about how other people around me were dealing with me. And then also too, to give space to how different people move on. Like, I really, like I knew from the get-go, like I could never get another pet. And then I know other people who just like immediately dove in, and the psychology, I wanted to give them justice for their psychology. Not that I, as like the author or the person in the situation, was ever judging it, but I just wanted to give it space and sort of, like neutrally, like my friend Drew was just like, he was, he had to put his dog down early, and he's like, I still have all this love to give. And he's like, and I still have more to give. I'm not done with like, also his dog kind of like was not special needs, but just like had a lot of, was abused and needed a safe space to be protected. And so he had a lot of also like, he still had that to give, that sort of like, oh, this dog needs like a really safe home energy. And he was also like, selfishly, I miss the routine. I miss what like having a dog does for me. A dog makes me better. And so I was like, yeah, go get another one. Like, who's like, why? Don't have guilt. Like, the spirit of your dog is not going to be like, you moved on.
Yeah.
Like, that dog is going to be like, yay, you. And so, I wanted to like give space for that. I just wanted to kind of like talk about all of it. There's even like, I feel so bad. I was like so angry whenever I got flowers from people, which is like, they're just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
But I was like, God fucking damn it. Like, I don't want to be home. I don't want to be reminded. Like, I want to be out of my home as much as possible for as many days as possible. And you just gave me something that requires like maintenance every 2 to 3 days and also dies in 2 weeks. And I was just like, you're just reminding me of the life cycle and forcing me to come home. And, and so like, this book is also like my passive aggressive way of being like, here's what you don't do when your friend loses an animal. Like, don't buy flowers. It's just, and don't buy anything that like is perishable. Like, emphasis on non-perishable.
There's a lot that I want to unpack from all of that, but I wanted to touch on the flower thing first. I don't buy flowers, and people think it's very weird. I don't buy flowers for any occasion. I don't believe in them because they die. I don't think it's personally, I don't think it's a good sentiment, like giving it for any occasion. For all of my girlfriends, I forgive them, but like for Scarlett, my fiance, recently, I think it was for whatever, Valentine's Day, I bought her a Lego bonsai tree because she wanted something like that. And I was like, I just don't believe in buying something that's going to die. The idea that it's going to like not be there, it's a waste of money first off, but also like the sentiment of like, why would I give someone I care about something that like has the chance of perishing? Like, that's not a sign of love for me. That's a sign of like, all right, it's going away now. But the idea that you have to take care of it and be in the place you don't want to be, I never thought of that. So like, especially when you lose someone, like why would you want to be in the place you were with them? Ow.
Yeah. And that's us, right? And that's us. And that's how we deal, and other people deal differently. And so it just was, I kind of, I needed to kind of get it all out on paper. And, one of the other things too, that like I got from it, and if I cry, I'm sorry, like, I'm not going to cry right now, but I'm just like talking about the stuff is like, I kind of knew it going into the Kickstarter. Like, I hired a manager for this, to manage the Kickstarter. And I was like, don't worry, man, you just get me on camera and I'll talk about this shit and I'll start crying. Because it's like, it's just, I can tap into it. I can still tap into that pain. But I kind of wanted, like, something I got out of this whole process was, I don't think I can like ever do like bring another like dog back into my life and like, have that bond again. But like, I'm oddly now so equipped to help other people say goodbye. I'm like, it ain't my dog. I don't give a shit. Like, but like, I literally, there's a segment in there where like, my friend Charlotte just like really, couldn't do the thing, so I had to schedule the mobile euthanizing company. I had to find the park. I went with her. We did it. Like, I liaised picking up the ashes, like, and was it a walk in the park? No, but like, I did that. And then, like a little while later, someone else had to put down a dog. And I was like, do you want me there? I can do it. And because it just feels like that's the gift. Like, that's the gift I have now. That's the gift this dog gave me, is like, I can help people get to that, that process. Cause I think you gotta be there. You gotta be there when it happens. And so I want to make sure other people are strong enough for that process.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever thought of like not having another. So for a long time, we had two English bulldogs. My family did, but like they were like best friends, Louie and Lola. Like they were, when I was in college, it was in a fraternity, and every pledge, this is not a hazing thing. They just had to know the names of my dogs just because they were that like close to me. Like I loved them. There was pictures of them like in my room, like they're all over my social media. I just love those dogs to death. And like even now, I went home a couple weeks ago, and like my parents have a new dog now, Balder. If he's listening, I'm sorry, Balder, but like it's just not the same. Like
Yeah.
when we go in the backyard, I just I want to cry because like I look at the bush that like Louis used to hang out. Like I might cry now. Just like look at those bushes that he used to hang out in, or like think about the. It's funny. The bathroom door Lola ripped apart, where an ex-girlfriend who was just not great to me, like she ripped through just because she didn't like her. Like all these like funny things these dogs did. That'll be with me forever. Like these dogs were just like. But now I have these two idiots who were just barking through this entire interview. And something I did.
So your noise.
I might actually put this video out just because the couch behind me is a mess right now. But the reason is because the little dog will sit on it like a cat, and that's why all the covers are messed up, because he sits on the top, and the other one throws the pillows off so she can get comfortable.
I love that.
She's bigger, but yeah, like I don't think I could have a place without some sort of dog or by my side. The cats are new. We had a family cat, but I got them when my fiance and I moved in together. And now that one that you just saw is like my literal best friend. Like I was talking to my fiance, I was like, could I just like have this cat as my best man? Like just cheese at the altar? Like, but as I look through your pages, something I've always loved about your artwork is how emotive you are. And this is a story about grief. And something you do very well in your artwork is showing grief and emotions. What was it like having to work through your own, like, very real feelings through your artwork? Like, was there anything that was hard to express in this story?
I was crying every day. So so this actually, I started working on this January 2024, and I was drawing like a page or two a day, and I'd go into the coffee shop down the street, and I would just be crying. Crying. Like, luckily, like I only cry with audio when I'm alone or in the car alone. I wasn't weeping, but like just like I was crying and like wiping my nose and eyes and everything. And the reason I took a super long break was I was sending pages out to publishers, and they were kind of giving me really like, the kindest rejections I've ever gotten. Like they're like, this is great, it doesn't matter. And I just hit a point where I was like, what am I doing this for? Like, I can't keep putting myself through this every day, like crying every day. So I put it down and was like, only come back and do this if there's a publisher. And as I said, there were no bites, and I wasn't pushing hard either, because I kind of just wanted someone to like be passionate about it, not like, yeah, sure, maybe we can make this thing work. Like, I'm sure if I'd have pushed Image Comics like a little harder, but then I was like, I don't that's the not the right energy. And so over the course of last year, just through other reasons and processes, Kickstarter, as something to utilize in my life and in my career, went from like, no, to, well, maybe for this thing. Like another company was like, oh, we run Kickstarters, we would love to do something with you. And and I also thought too, like this, it went from like a thing that people of one level do and publishers do for other things to like, oh, everyone does it. Like everyone does it for the right projects. And like, same with, I'm just like, oh, like James Tynan has done a Kickstarter. Like, why can't I? Like everyone's doing it. Like and I support so many. So what, I just like, I was like, my thought process behind it changed. And I think I was like holding on to like the leftover grime of like the initial feeling fans had when traditional publishers were using it, but even that's going away. Like even now it's just an ecosystem that is thriving, and there's no, anyway, it was just one of those things where I really had to kind of change my point of view on it. And I realized, I was like, okay, if this book is for people who've gone through it, let me just do it through a community and ecosystem that is built for telling individuals about a thing. And so last November, I started talking to Ben Kepner, who came from Skybound's games division, the tabletop gaming. And he had run some Kickstarters. So he built out like a whole schedule and this and that with me. And then last February, a friend lent me, like her family has this cabin on the Oregon coast, and they lent me that space for like 9 days to just like hunker down and get back on it. And so then like I did the second half of the book there this past February, and I have like a few more pages left. Like it's just like, I don't want to push myself on the ending. I have the ending, but I don't have, I have it's like just like 3 pages. And I just sort of, I'm like, it's a weird book. And a lot of the pages that are on the Kickstarter are a little more fun and a little more digestible. And I want to like let the poetry part of the comic come out at its own pace. But anyway, what was interesting was like, I thought I was going to be like a sobbing mess. I had people being like, you can call me if it gets too tough. Cause I was alone. If I walked 2 steps out of that house, I had no service. Like it was just me and the beach and my thoughts. Like I was a 20-minute drive from a town. It was freaking gorgeous. And I think that distance coming back, it just suddenly, not cold, but it felt like all business, all technique, all storytelling, all right, how do I convey this? How do I convey that? Like, all right, how are you going to like, how do you let the reader know you're fucking sad on this page? And I cried maybe like 2 times that trip, but January 2024, I was crying every day.
In the coffee shop too.
In public.
Yeah.
No freaking shame.
Did you at least buy coffee, or you were just the
no, oh god, yeah.
shop?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a believer of like, you should have at least like half a cup full if you're going to be there, for a while. Like,
how full should it be if you're going to cry?
I know. How much did you tip if you're going to cry?
Got it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's, I mean, like, I'm a private cry. Like I don't think anyone noticed. I'll ask. Some of the baristas and I follow each other on Instagram. I'll be like, did you ever notice me crying?
I just need to know for personal. That's so cool. The cabin, the idea. My problem is like, if I was like in a space like that, like in the Frodo, can we not? I don't want that energy. No, he doesn't give a shit. If I was like in a cabin in the woods, I'd be like ripping cigarettes the entire time. I don't even smoke, but like I would be out like pacing around the woods. It would be bad. There'd be no art done at all.
It was wild. My self-control was amazing. Like I even got I bought like one bottle of wine when I got there, and I was like, I shouldn't even like buy this, whatever. I was like, you're just gonna go there and down it, and I would have maybe like a glass a night. It took me the whole 9 days to finish it. Um, it was, I don't know, yeah, like my diet was insane. My work ethic was really crazy. It was, I locked in. It was, such not a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice, but it was such a like capital D decision. And I was so public about it with friends and family and coworkers, whatever, that there was a little bit of like it was like I had to do the thing. Like I couldn't, there was no fucking off when I got there, like I really had to prove, and if anything, to my dog, like I had to prove that I was going to make this book and do it right. And also knowing that like we were going to launch the Kickstarter, that was like, oh, everyone is saying that like your product should be done when you're launching the Kickstarter, which is true, because like I want to get some quotes from people, and I can't do that until I have a finished PDF, which again, I just got to like draw a couple pages, but I'll make time for it. I don't know when. I'll make time for it, but I'll finish. It's going to finish soon. So, but anyway, now, I'm glad I did it.
With Kickstarter, and like before I ask this, is I don't want you to feel like you're being trivialized. Kickstarter for me is just like betting on yourself. Like it's just like I don't want other hands in my art. Like I just want to do this by myself. Like this is me. I don't need a publisher. Like I want to get this done. Like I want people to believe in me, and I'm doing this.
100%.
How did you decide like what you were offering, like for the reward structure? Because I've never run one, and I've never like really interviewed and talked about this part of it. Like, how do you decide what rewards you're going to put into a project?
I just thought about I just thought, what would I want and what makes sense for this product? Like I was like, I just don't want to give people trash. Like I'm kind of even like, I want to redesign that bookmark. I think I still can. Like people don't care. If you get a better bookmark out of me, like you're happy, right?
It is a good book. I really do like the Don't Dog Your Ear.
Yeah, I think the font could be cuter. I think it's a good second draft. I just think there's 2 more drafts.
Got it.
Which is fine. I'll do it, and I don't think anyone's going to get mad. And if anyone gets mad, okay, I'll go print the original bookmark for you.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to get mad about the.
No one's going to get mad. All of these people so far are people who know me and have, been reading my stuff for a while and are real ones. But, I then also was like, okay, what? And then I kind of, someone was like telling me when they're like, oh, and you've got so much experience, you can kind of do this, that, or the other too. And I was like, oh, right. And someone was like, you should make your whole like library available digitally as a tier. And I was like, oh, that's like too much work, and I don't want to figure out how to do that. But I was like, oh, but I can draw and I can do pet portraits. And I was like, that's fun. And people love their pets and people want to honor their pets. And this is all about celebrating and, like loving the animals you got and the animals you had. And so that was like, oh, that's smart. And then, like, I was like, oh, like I can draw people into a comic. Like that's smart. It also like costs me nothing. That was my big thing, was like, what can I do that's not gonna like just be another line item on a spreadsheet that I have to like then calculate later. That was like, that was something past me. I'm so grateful I did that, because with all the with the uncertainty of the tariffs, it's like everything we planned out is all kind of like local anyway. So I just kind of thought like that. I was like, I don't want to like, I didn't want to create like anything like plastic that would be under a different timeline, a different timetable. I just kind of wanted it to be like, okay, what is the book and what is like something people would actually want? And so, just kept it to like, oh, people love stickers, and I love a bookmark. I work at a bookstore. I love a bookmark. And then same with like the comic editor thing, where it's like, oh yeah, because I did this convention in Lubbock, and my buddy who like helped run it and was like, showing me around, was telling me that he I guess like Scott Snyder has offered like sort of similar, like we'll give like feedback on scripts for certain tiers of certain, I don't know what Scott does. I don't know if he does a Substack or something, but I was like, oh, you can do that. Like, right. Like I edited The Walking Dead. Like I've created literally at this point, like hundreds of comics, maybe? No, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how many comics I've made. I should do that math. But like I've made thousands of pages of comics, like that much. And so I was just like, oh, like I could, yeah, like for the right money and the right parameters, like I would, yeah. And again, it just goes back to like, what do I know I can make good on? What do I think people would actually want? What's unique to me? And, you know, I kind of also wanted to keep it as like special as possible because this is a special project.
Yeah. For me, I haven't, my fiance is going to be very excited. The pet bandana, she dresses, we have the Chihuahua. She dresses that little freak up all the time. He loves clothes. So that's going to be big in this house.
I have like a shitty, I have a shitty like Zazzle version just for like photo shoots. It looks cute. I mean, obviously like the real version will be like silk screened and double-sided, but like, printing it on fabric. Cute. Yeah, it turned out okay. I mean, obviously, like this isn't what it's gonna be. Yeah. But I'm like,
the design is. I really do love it.
Yeah,
it's like that classic red bandana, but it's like your art. I love. So
I'm gonna blush and cry and we're gonna go through all the emotions.
That's what an interview with me is like. But I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited we got to link up. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the Kickstarter, like the Kickstarter process? Was there anything that you were scared about that has felt good coming through with this?
I think, well, you know, I guess we didn't say this yet, but like, we got we didn't say this like on recording, but like we got funded and like fully funded in under 90 minutes. And we're over 250% funded today, and today is still under 48 hours. And I'm just sort of like, I'm just really grateful. And I think right before we launched, I was like, oh, this is stupid. No one's going to want this. This is so weird and specific. Maybe there's a reason no one talks about this kind of grief because no one wants to really like be reminded of it. So to just kind of be like, validated against my own insecurities has been phenomenal. And I just kind of like, I'm really grateful, and I'm curious to see what happens next. And I've learned a lot too. It's just like, oh, like advertising really helps. Like a friend was like, put money in advertising. I'm like, bitch, I don't have any money, but like, okay, I'll find money. But anyway, all this is to say is like, it's been really surprising and super cool. And I know that it's this project. Like there's not something in the back of my head that's like, and what's your next Kickstarter? I'm like, there is no next Kickstarter. This is it. But I don't know. I feel like it's been, I'm just constantly speechless. And I think there was a part of me that like made sure this was like, it can't fail. Like I when I was working with Ben to set this all up, I was like, look, like, what are the real numbers that we need to make this like land? And so I knew like no matter what, like at the end of the whole campaign, we'd be fine. But to be at a place now where I can like dream bigger is so wild to me, like. Even just like, oh, we already hit the first stretch goal, which was the cover's going to have like a UV coating spot gloss on certain, like on the logo and on the art. I just like love that feeling. And then we have a $15,000 stretch goal, which is more the Kickstarter thing, like a sticker, and it's a really funny sticker. And then I have like, we haven't like publicly unveiled it, but I have like a secret pie in the sky tier, like stretch goal in my head where like the idea's gotten, it's not gonna cost like a shit ton of money, but it's gotten more ambitious in terms of what it could do. Like I'll share it here, I guess. Like, because I'm not confirming anything. It's still pie in the sky. But I was like, oh, like the book. If we get like this number, and we're trying to do the math and see what's possible, but like if we hit this number, like the book will be 8. We'll have 8 more pages, and it'll include behind the scenes stuff. Like no more story pages. It'll like include like a thank you page for like everyone who backed at like whatever tier and above, and then. And I was like, oh, like in an introduction. And originally I was going to like see if I could get like Anders Nielsen to do one because his book, The End, was so influential on like me and processing like me and how I do memoir and how I do like how you talk about these weird, abstract, painful subjects like that. That one paved the way for all of us. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll ask him, but something about that didn't feel right. And anyway, this is the thing, and there's no confirming. I haven't even really put my feelers out there yet, but like I was like, oh, what would be really fucking sick is if I got Lisa Vanderpump to do an introduction, because like she's the queen of like dogs. Like she loves dogs, and she's like this big deal sort of celebrity in reality TV. And there's a whole segment even in the preview pages like about kind of me relating to Lisa Rinna. And what's crazy is, and this part I thought I was going to cut from the book, but maybe I'll put it back in the book, is like, I was on an episode of her show, Vanderpump Villa. And when I was there in France filming this reality TV show, like on the flight there, I was talking with one of my friends about like, I was like, where's my dog? Where did he go? Like, and all the cultures talk about, like, this happens to humans and that happens to humans. And I was like, where's my dog? Like why is there no cultural explanation for where the fuck my dog is? And she was like, he'll come to you when it's right. He'll come to you when you need it. And it was our last night in France. And we were like drinking in the backyard, like on a swing talking. And then out of nowhere, this dog walks up to me at like midnight. And he's more of like a beagle, but he had my dog's coloring. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck is this dog doing here? And I was like, this is Henry. And my friend Angel was like, see, bitch, I told you. Like, I told you he'd come. And the dog, it was like the first time that like I'd also like played with a dog the way I'd play with Henry, like the thing of just like, you get on the ground and the dog gets on the ground. Yeah. And like, I was just like sobbing. And like, it was funny because we had to be mic'd the whole time, and we had cameras on us in our rooms, and also we had the production kept control of the lighting. And so like I went to my room, everyone else went to another room and played Truth or Dare or something, and I like took off my mic, and the only place you have privacy is the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom and I just started like sobbing my guts out. And I was like, you can't do this, you can't fall asleep on like a tile floor, you got to get in your bed. And I get in my bed, and this is so Big Brother. And the lights were still on because they decide when the lights go off. And I'm just like crying, and I just like look at one of the cameras in the room, and I'm like, this isn't about you. This isn't about the show. Can you please just like turn the lights off and like let me sleep? And the lights just like, and I just like cried myself to sleep. So there's this weird like that experience and that, I don't know, that whole interaction, that visit with that dog, like, that none of that would have happened if it weren't for Lisa Vanderpump. So I'm going to like try and reach out to her through people on that show and see if and be like, hey, and I'll draw all the positive parts in the book. But that would be really fucking sick if like we got an intro from Lisa Vanderpump. But, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like I'd want to pay her. I don't, I think she'll just want me to donate to her dog nonprofit. But either way, it's like, adding 8 more pages to a book and, paying Lisa, like, it's just like, okay, we got to hit a goal for that. That's that's the next step.
That would be wild.
Wouldn't it? Would just really be a fucking fairy tale thing.
Yeah,
and
whole thing feels very you too. I feel like that would be the perfect intro for this.
Yeah. She'd be like, darling, the logo must be pink. And I'd be like, okay, darling.
I really hope that happens.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. Yeah. I mean, yeah, let's manifest
my
this.
fingers are crossed for you. But thank you for coming on. Everyone, the links for this Kickstarter will be in the page, in the description of this episode as well. Go follow Sina everywhere. You have other books on the shelves right now. You just did a story in DC with the Lex Luthor.
Lex in the City, the romance anthology. Yeah. I just wrote, and I wrote one of the last issues of Shazam. We did like a John Kent tie-in right before he went into Secret Six, where Nicole is properly fucking him up in the best way possible.
Such a good book too.
Yeah, she's
good at comics. She's very good at comics.
She's an idea factory. Like it's crazy. It's like, it's so nutty that she's 10 years younger than me, but she's got that energy. And she's kicking ass. And so like, yeah, we kind of got like, John's character has just been getting pummeled. And so we like, me and editorial were like, okay, let's give him this like cute, fluffy story with Billy here that allows the character to just breathe a tiny bit in his like tapestry, because Nicole's like doing some stuff with him, and so
beat his ass. Is there anything else people should be picking up from you?
I just did too. I wrote and drew a horror short story for Hello Darkness at Boom issue 9, and that one I love. It's like a Buffy meets Pleasantville idea called Cemetery Cove, and it's about like this little kid who accidentally gets himself sucked into his favorite genre TV show. It's very like Buffy Vampire Diaries, and but it's a horror story, so it doesn't end super well for him. But it was like an idea I'd had that I'm hoping this could kind of like be a backdoor pilot to like explore that concept. It's very the opposite of I Saw the TV Glow. Like I had this idea, then I saw that movie, and then I like was like, oh fuck, but I did my version of it.
Yeah, reverse it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm very excited for everyone to be able to read this.
Thank you so much for like also just turning this around, and your support. It's like
anytime.
The